take from the move 1d4.
Yeah, they have not even seen a response from Vidit Gujrathi, who has been playing quite quickly. For those players who get in time trouble, you don't typically want to spend a couple minutes on your first turn, but we have seen a response. It looks like the queen spawn, so we do have d4 and d5 played on this all-important clash between the players who are tied for first place. So if there is a winner in this game, we are guaranteed someone hitting 8.5 points. We'll have to see about the other 3 boards, which include players with 7.5 entering the round. But Dunne, I am curious, for Wijk, how much risk do you take? Do you just play a slow, methodical game trying to outplay your opponent, or do you take the battle to him? These are the questions that swirl the players' minds, because they don't know what's happening on the other board. They don't know if Danchenko will play one of the best games of his life and stop Nadirbek Abdusattorov. They don't know if Max Vormanav will be able to recover and stop Anish Giri. So how do you approach a game like this with so much on the line?
Honestly, I think the best approach, and I've never been in a situation quite like this, but I think you almost ignore what's happening on the other boards. Now, the exception to that, as we see the move e3, for Wijk, very quiet opening system. This is the Colle system, so quickly trying to take the game out of mainstream theoretical waters, but you just play what you were planning to play before the tournament. I think when you get too bogged down in what's happening on the other boards and you start trying to base your decisions as to what you think the evaluation is, that just clutters your mind, Robert. And in my experience observing these types of moments in previous tournaments, what actually happens is never what you think is going to happen. So you might as well just focus on playing the moves that you think are best. I mean, we had some crazy situations. I remember the 2013 candidates, for example, where it was Magnus Carlsen who thought that he had to win his game with the white pieces against Peter Svidler. He ended up losing with white in one of his first white losses in a long time, and then but because he thought that he needed to win, he played a perk against Vasily Ivanchuk and got crushed. So we might see similar type of pandemonium today with players kind of mismanaging their risk. But this is an interesting opening choice by Wijk. The Colle system is a lot less fashionable than its older brother, its cooler brother perhaps, the London system.
Well, that's because the dark square bishop sits at home and doesn't get to develop on a nice diagonal. But Wijk, he's not exactly revealing his intentions with this move just yet. Will he opt for c4 in the near future? This remains to be seen. So why don't we zoom out, just because we have so many games of equal
to face Wijk with the black pieces in the final round. He must have been looking with envy at Anish Giri, Noterbeck, who had more manageable pairings. But to have black against an on-form Wijk, that was a tall order. And a tired Vidit is going to go down.
As we saw in the Isle of Man in the Grand Swiss, losing in round 1, it's often better than losing in the last round, and that was a Swiss compared to a round robin. Yes, we see the comments coming in, feeling sad for Vidit. If he finished the tournament with 7.5 points, if you told him that at the start, he would be very happy to collect the rating points with a superb event. But losing in the last round with first place on the line, it's going to sting for sure, but you have to give the credit to Wijk. Wijk plays an amazing game. When someone plays perfect chess against you, there's really nothing that you can do. And Wijk was one of the biggest prodigies of all time. So don't think that this came out of nowhere. Wijk has been around. He's a superstar. And if you look at how this game has gone, it was even, and suddenly it wasn't. The center was blown open, and Wij's rook joined the party. A pawn was dropped in the middle of the board, and Wijk has played uncorked a couple brilliant moves along the way. So all exclamation points for Wijk, question marks for Vidit, and that unfortunately for him did him in.
It did him in indeed. Vidit, again, we congratulate him on an incredible performance. It wasn't like he made a bunch of big blunders. He made a series of smaller mistakes in the opening way with that Colle system. It didn't look like he was aiming for anything special in the opening. But that's exactly what lulled Vidit into a false sense of security. He made one sloppy move in the opening, allowed Wijk to drive the pawn up to e4, and after that, it was all over. Rook a8, and I think 95 check is the easiest way to win. It's already on the board, and the handshake is coming now. Okay, time for Vidit to resign. He keeps going, but queen c7 check and it's over.
Queen c7 check, the king goes to the corner, and there's a knight fork winning the queen. Vidit extends in, there is resignation. We have a clear leader in the Tata Steel Chess Tournament. Wijk wins against Vidit Gujrathi. The white pieces were to his benefit, 8.5 out of 13, so now players can catch up to him. But Wijk knows he finishes this tournament in first place. Now, we will be sent to a playoff if others can catch him, but in the classical portion, a first place finish, one to remember for Wijk.
Incredible. What a performance and what a clutch win in the final round. Great preparation all around by the players who were contesting first place, both Giri and Wijk, and of course, also Gukesh with great chances to win.